for America.
Travelockery there from Donegal with one called Donegal, We're Coming Home to You. Well, I'm delighted to be joined in the studio now by my very special guest. He's on tour from the UK at the moment, but he's from Newport in County Mayo originally. So we welcome Peter Mylett. How are you, Peter?
Great, Michael. Thank you very much. It's nice to be here.
Good to have you with us. I think you brought a little bit of fine weather with you.
I think so. You know, for the last few days it's been wet and misty, and today all of a sudden the sunshine.
But we call it Irish sunshine, all this rain. But we can't do much about it. You're a busy man at the moment, Peter. You're back here on tour again.
Yeah. Well, you know, I haven't played in Ireland since 2003, and I decided this time I was going to do a gig, so I'm doing one in my own hometown on Saturday night coming.
Back to the roots.
Back to the roots, yeah.
Well, that's great. Well, we've had a few messages ahead of your visit to us this evening. I've had one from one of our great supporters of Irish Country Music Radio. She's Margaret Downs Munger, and she lives in Manchester.
Margaret is a fantastic lady. She puts something up every day of the week on Facebook about Irish artists.
Yeah, she's wonderful.
She's good.
And the message from Margaret is, "Hello, Michael. Would just like to say, will you wish Peter Mylett all the best from Manchester Maggie when you do your interview with him this evening? I've never met him, but I love his music. Cheers, Foxy."
Oh, that's nice. Thanks very much, Margaret.
That's a nice message there. And I have one in from Michael McGloin in County Sligo. Another great supporter of Irish Country Music Radio and a great artist in his own right, singer and accordionist. And he's asked if I would say hello to you and wish you the best of luck. That's Michael McGloin.
Thanks very much, Michael.
And also Kathy Paradise, another regular listener, good friend of ICMR. She's in Rhode Island in the US of A. Wants to say hello to you as well.
Hi, Kathy, all the way out there.
And more listeners, Patsy and Rita McCartney in Ottawa in Canada ask if I would say a big hello to you as well from them.
Hi, Kathy and Rita.
Again, very loyal listeners to our station.
It's nice to have all them, Michael, that listen to you all the time.
Yeah, we've a huge family of listeners right now.
Yeah, you're right across. It's amazing nowadays, you know, with the internet and the likes of these stations were badly needed.
Well, they were, I believe so.
Yeah.
And I mean, this station is coming up 10 years on the airwaves.
Yeah.
And it's now has the largest listenership of all the dedicated online stations.
That's brilliant.
And some very, very loyal listeners that have been with us over the years. And growing all the time, so we're absolutely delighted. In fact, we call them our family.
The big family,
They are indeed.
Yeah, big family.
Yeah. Now, a message in from Catherine McGaughey, who's in Omagh in County Tyrone. She wants to say hello to you as well. And she's asked me if I would put to you the question, what first brought you into music? And, what were your influences?
Well, what first brought me into music was I'm the youngest of a family of 5, and everybody in the family went to dances when I was at home hanging on to the mother's apron strings. And I was only probably 8, 5, 6, 7, 8 when the rest of the family were going to the Starlight in Westport. If any you were old enough to remember that place where all the top bands. Michael, you're not that old. No. But anyway, they used to go to see all the top bands, and every Saturday night they bring me home a photograph of the band. And God, you know, they used to be black and white photographs then, you know, and I'd have them all. I wouldn't have them pinned up on the wall because my mother was pretty strict about putting things on the wall. But I'd have them in a little box, and I had, God rest on Gene Stewart and Big Tom, they're still going strong. I had Ray Nylam, Philomena Begley, all of them. And I remember the first cassette player that came to the house. Ray Nylam and Philomena Begley were doing duets on it.
My Lucid Dreams and all that.
Yeah. And Silver Sandals. God. And I suppose I always wanted to be a singer. I think I sang in the school Christmas play. First year I went to school.
So that's where it all started.
When I was 5. Yeah, I was better at singing than sticking to my books. That's for sure. Yeah.
That's brilliant. Well, you're from Newport in County Mayo originally, Peter?
Yeah.
And so when you got into music, what year would that be when you started going out professionally, as we'd say?
Well, I started out...
Making a few bob out of it.
Yeah. I started out in 1985. No, sorry, the 80... See now. God, it'll be a little bit before that. What started me out was... I was doing the Leaving Cert at the time, and a few of us used to get together in the evening, get away from the books. And I was hitching a lift from Westport, and this fella called Paddy Joe, you know him very well.
Oh, Paddy Joe.
John Joyce gave me a lift, and he's seen the guitar, and he says, "You're in the music?" And I says, "Well, I'm going into it." And he says, "Well, how far are you into it?" And I says, "I'm learning songs, I'm singing them." Well, he said, "I'm on a group in Mulrenny." He says, "We do a thing called the Irish Nights in a pub called Divers." At the time, I don't think it's there now. I think it changed hands a few times since. And he said, "If you can make your way next Monday night, if you're off, or if you're free, or if you're not stuck in the books, get down to Divers. And it'll be like an audition." He says, "And if you can't sing, we want you." Because we're looking for a singer, he says, and I'm doing all the singing, and I'm calling people up, and he says, "I'm not really a singer." He says, "I'm an entertainer, I'm an accordion player." But he says, "I'd love someone to relieve me on the singing." So I went down, and I started off from there. John, we used to do the regular on a Monday night, and then it spread out. We used to do some of the pubs in Achill, and we got more Brazen, we got Westport then, and Castlebar. And then all of a sudden, it came to an end. I can't remember what happened. But anyway, I was working in a shoe shop in Westport, O'Donnell's shoe shop, part-time at the time. And I then got another part-time job in the Welcome Inn Hotel in Castlebar. And we went on a party one weekend to Gisala. And we arrived at this place, I think it's called the Old Stand Sing Hotel. I don't know what it's called now. But it was Easter weekend. And Holy Thursday was the night before, and there was a band there, and they were supposed to play on Good Friday as well. But the lead singer had a sore throat, and the whole band didn't turn up there. So there was a gang of us from the Welcome Inn. They said, "Oh, we've got a singer with us. Don't worry about a singer, we can supply you with one." So I went up on stage that night. And I never knew Michael had a full programme for 3 hours. I never knew it from playing bits and pieces with Paddy Joe. I never actually sung the whole night. But I found out I had a programme for the whole night, and the following week, I gave me notice in the Welcome Inn. I was going on the road.
There you are now. It was more than your 15 minutes of fame then, wasn't it?
God, yeah.
Well, Peter, let's take a song from you now, and you're back here in Mayo, and we're going to play this one called "Take Me Home to Mayo."
Take me back across the sea to a land so dear to me. Take me back home to old Ireland once again, to my hometown in Mayo that I left so long ago. Let me live again my childhood memories. I long to hear those same old songs that I heard so long ago. I want to see once again friends that I've been missing so. I've been so long away, still my heart cries every day. Take me back home to Mayo. I'll walk the streets of Castlebar, or into Moran's for a jar. Friendly faces all around me I'll see. Then I'll hear the guitar strum as the sing-song is begun, and I know there's no place on earth I'd rather be. I long to hear those same old songs that I heard so long ago. I want to see once again friends that I've been missing so. I've been so long away, still my heart cries every day. Take me back home to Mayo. yesterday that I sailed so far away, leaving everything I love so far behind me. Now my cases are all packed, for each summer I go back, I go back, I go back home to Mayo. I long to hear those same old songs that I heard so long ago. I want to see once again the friends that I've been missing so. I've been so long away, still my heart cries every day. Take me back home to Mayo.
That's our first track from my special guest in the studio today, Peter Mylett, and Take Me Home to Mayo. Very appropriate one, isn't it, Peter?
It's very appropriate, right? Very appropriate indeed.
Yeah. Now, you crossed over the small pond, as I call it. I suppose would that have been the late 80s or thereabout?
Yeah.
And where did you settle?
I settled in the northwest of England, and I was doing the music scene here, as I say. I was doing the solo scene. You know, you could do 7 nights in a week in Westport in the summertime.
Yeah, you still can.
Fortunately. Yeah, that's very good.
Yeah.
You know, that's the great thing about it. But you know, when the winter came, I was down to 2, and God, I used to be lost. And then I realised I want to do this for a living. But I realised, like, if I wanted to do it for a living, I'd have to put a band on the road, which would be a massive expense, and I couldn't afford at the time. And if you didn't get someone that sponsored you or backed you or signed you up on a record label, you know, you were on a losing battle. So I used to get the Irish Post in, and that time you had to order it.
That's a very popular paper in England, yeah.
You had to order it, and I used to have to order it in West McLaughlin's in Westport. The shop isn't there any longer. But I used to have to order it, and I got it a few weeks in a row, and I could see all over England, you could do 7 nights a week, no matter what city. It was booming that time, and that was the late 80s. So I decided I'd go to the northwest, because you could cover Blackpool, Liverpool, Manchester, down to Birmingham if you wanted,
and even across to Leeds, and
yeah, you could. Yeah. You're right across, and you know, when you say Leeds, it's less than an hour.
That's right. Yeah,
and you could do them all, and yeah, that's the reason I wanted to make a living from music.
But you know, there were a great variety of Irish clubs in that part of England.
Yeah, there was. Fantastic.
I went through quite a few of them myself in my time. Yeah,
and you know, another thing, Michael, we were fortunate that English people loved Irish music as well.
They did, yeah.
And they came and supported the Irish scene. And they still do. And I think we're very, very lucky to still be able to make a living from the game. That's right. You know?
The scene has changed, though, hasn't it, down the years? A lot of the big Irish clubs have gone.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, and a lot of the were really parish clubs, but effectively Irish clubs. A lot of them, depending on what city they were in, a lot of those have disappeared as well, haven't they? And
they have, and you know, what's keeping the likes of me going now as a solo act is functions, corporate, private. And you know, I'll do one thing as a singer. You know, I'll sing in a church for a funeral, which is very much in demand now. You sing a favourite song for somebody in a church. Of course, Our Lady of Knock is very popular.
It is indeed, yeah.
And you might sing Mum when the Coffin is Coming In, a favourite song. You sing all the hymns, and you know, you lead sing with the congregation. And of course, after communion, Our Lady of Knock, and when the coffin is going out, another different song. And you might do a party after the funeral, but anything like that, you know, pensioners in the Irish community care, things like that, all over the country, that's still going strong.
Yeah,
still going strong.
It's pretty much the same here. The pub music scene has declined somewhat here in Ireland, and a lot of the artists have diversified into playing for social dancing and functions, parties. Nursing homes.
Yeah, we all do them.
We do indeed, yeah.
You know, you get a good reaction, and sometimes I wonder why I'm there, and they
people say to me, you're there sussing them out, you know.
But they reckon it's part of the therapy.
Yeah,
just to listen to the music and all that.
And it's great stimulation for the residents, isn't it?
And I just walk in, I sit on the stool and play the guitar. I don't bring any amplification, no microphone, nothing. and I just sit on it, and you see them waving back and over. Some of them get up and dance.
Yeah.
I hope I can dance
They
when
do
I'm 92.
indeed. Yeah, and me.
Or 82.
Yeah, I wish I could dance now, Peter. Maybe it's a skill I'll pick up later in life. I've a message in from Kathy Paradise in Rhode Island. She's really enjoying our conversation, and asked Peter if he knows how many songs there are about Mayo.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, I think, Kathy, I think the reason why there's so many songs about Mayo was, or any county from the west of Ireland for that matter, there was a lot of immigration in the 40s, 50s, and they were sad that they had to leave because they had nothing. And
it was a nostalgic longing for their birthplace, wasn't it?
Yeah, they wanted to come back, and along like that, they'd love to come back, but they knew there was nothing there for them. And I think that's the main reason there's so many songs about Mayo. I think there's more songs about Mayo than any other county.
Well, I actually, in fact, I did it with Kathy. We did an exercise a little while back to see which county had the most songs written about it, and or recorded by artists from that county. And Mayo was way out in front.
Oh, way out in front. Yeah.
Donegal was fairly close behind, and then
I could imagine Donegal would be pretty close. Yeah.
Well, Kathy's from County Roscommon. She's a Rossie.
She's a Rossie.
So we're going to play another one of your songs now. This one is called My Hometown, Castlereagh.
Castlereagh, yeah.
Especially for Kathy.
Way back in the west of old Ireland, not well known for beauty or for fame, there's a friendly little town, and I wouldn't put it down. I think about it almost every day. It was there without a care. I spent 20 years, and all of those were happy days for me. To be there I'm always longing, in the county of Roscommon, and my own hometown that's known as Castlereagh. When summer comes around, I know where I am bound. The continent is surely not for me, 'cause the friends that I'll be seeing will cheer me when I'm speeding to that old Roscommon town of Castlereagh. Good things must end, and I must go and fend for living in a far-off country. It's then that I'll start dreaming each time that I am leaving and saying goodbye to friends and family. I've come and gone for many years, and I've shed a lot of tears, and I know I'll do it time and time again. But someday I won't be grieving, I know I won't be leaving that old Roscommon town of Castlereagh. I've come and gone for many years, and I've shed a lot of tears, and I know I'll do it time and time again. But someday I won't be grieving, I know I won't be leaving that old Roscommon town of Castlereagh.
That's Peter there with my hometown, Castlereagh. Well, we're getting to the end of our little discussion, Peter, and we're absolutely delighted to have you in the studio this evening. Now, you're a very busy man on the circuit over there, and if I can get you to get your crystal ball out now, and what does the future hold for Peter Mylett? Well, as far as you can see into it.
First of all, I'm really, really looking forward to this night in Hotel Newport this coming Saturday. As I say, I haven't played my own hometown in 13 years, and
so you're the prodigal son returning then, are you?
Well, there was other times I was thinking, yeah, I'll do it, and it just didn't work out that way. I wasn't coming home for long enough. I wasn't spending Saturday night, and this time like, I have 2 weeks this time, and I thought, yeah, I'll do it. And then when I go back to Manchester, I'm holding an acoustic night, which is just me sitting on the stool, playing the guitar, no microphone. Well, I will have a microphone, but I won't have any backing tracks or anything like that. That's on Saturday, the 10th of September, and that's what I'm going into next year. I'll still do the other as well, but I love singing without backing tracks. I love the concert atmosphere where nobody is talking, nobody's joining in, and they'll join in, all right, but it's just lovely where you can hear a pin drop. And that's what I'm going more into.
This is actually working very successfully for Johnny McAvoy at the moment. He's got back on the circuit again, and
good.
He's doing a very basic act, just himself and another musician, and singing all his old songs, but doing some up-to-date versions of his old songs. And he's brought out a couple of albums, and that works. It works.
Well, Johnny, when I was growing up, Johnny was the king of that.
Oh, didn't we all look up to him?
Yeah. And like, he had his own program on television, and God, you think just sitting on the stool is so simple. When you look back, it was so simple, just sitting on the stool, singing and playing the guitar. And like, of course, Johnny was a great songwriter as well, and it all went together. And just the first lady, where did you say the first lady asked me how I got into the music?
That's Catherine from Omagh in Tyrone, yes.
Catherine, I hope I answered your question. Sorry for being a bit ignorant. I went on, I answered the question, I just kept going on. I just can't stop talking anyway. But that's how I got into the music, Catherine. I hope that answers your question. I suppose you hear the same answer from a lot of people, how they got into it, and in similar ways, how they were influenced by other people and things like that.
Yeah. Well, Peter, we'll take a final song from you now, and your most recent album, I think it came out in the last, 12, 18 months ago?
It's a while out. It's maybe 18 months ago now, yeah.
Reflections. Would you like to pick a song off the album? And
I don't know what number it is from here, Michael, but it's called Coffee and Cheesecake.
Coffee and Cheesecake. You're making me hungry now. Let's see if we can...
and I'll dedicate it to all the people that's travelling from England this weekend to Hotel Newport, to see me in Hotel Newport. Especially Sandra Williams and her mum and her son and girlfriend. They're in Galway at the moment, but I wish them a safe journey down to Mayo. They're coming down tomorrow. And Chris and Gillian Ward are coming back from Penistone in South Yorkshire as well.
Right.
I wish them a safe journey. They're coming to Newport as well to support me, which is really, really nice.
Yeah. Just a few more messages before we do finish, Peter, from Patsy and Rita McCartney in Ottawa in Canada. Peter, you hit the nail on the head when you said music was therapy, the best there is, and especially if it's music from Ireland. We older exiles thrive on it because we grew up with it. We are really enjoying your talk with Michael. Keep up the great work. So there we are, Peter.
Thanks very much, Patsy and Rita. It's great to have you. Great to have you listening.
You hit the spot there with... Thanks, Patsy and Rita, for that. And let me see. I think of... Kathy Paradise is back to me again from Rhode Island. Kathy says, thanks, Peter. Lovely song. That was the Castlereagh song. Best of luck in all your future endeavours. God bless.
Thanks very much, Kathy.
Right.
Thank you.
Well, Peter... Once again, we're delighted you could take time out to come and sit in with us on the programme this evening on Irish Country Music Radio. Can we wish you all the very best for your upcoming gig in your hometown of Newport? I'm sure it's going to go very well for you. And
hopefully, Michael, thank you very much.
The crowds will flock into you that night.
Thank you.
And best of luck as well in the old acoustic endeavours as well.
And this next song, I done it acoustic, and first of all, it wasn't meant to be that way. I done it acoustic. I just went into the studio and sat on the stool to send out to every musician that was going to play on it, and they all got a copy of it, and they all came in and played on it, and I sang on it again. It didn't sound the same. The feeling wasn't there. Mm-hmm. So I thought, this is a song that you just sit on a stool and play, and no backing.
Well, we'll have a listen to it now, Peter. So once again, thanks for the visit, and on behalf of myself and our listeners and ICMR, can we wish you all the very best for the future, and come back and see us again soon, won't you?
I will indeed, Michael, and thank you very much for the airtime, and as I said before, it's a fantastic idea by Pat Garrett to start all this off. There's loads and loads of artists like me that don't have massive record labels behind them, that don't get played on the big radio stations, and we really appreciate the airtime you give us.
It's our pleasure, Peter. Thanks
Thank you very
again.
much, Michael.